In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys how to do the box. Looks something like this. Now, it's a deceptively simple looking pattern. It's one ball goes back and forth on the bottom, the other two go up and down. Obviously, there's not much to it structurally, but the multitasking going on in your hands is really hard to pull off. I mean, you're throwing a ball straight up, turning your hand sideways, catching a sideways throw, throwing it back, your other hand is doing something entirely different. It's very hard to practice. So in order to get better at it, I mean, in the very beginning, you probably wouldn't be able to pull off a few of these. So I'm going to teach you guys a few ways to practice it so that you can eventually work up to the full pattern and be able to master this nice little trick. Since this is all about multitasking, the first thing you're going to want to do is fairly simple. Just put one ball in your left hand and throw it straight up and down a few times. Should be fairly easy. Now, when the ball is in the air, I want you to turn your hand sideways, whatever you want to do. Just do something different than simply waiting for it. And keep this going steadily. Don't pause between, as if you're in the full pattern. This will help you get used to the idea of doing something different with your hand while you wait. Now, as you get better at that, you can eventually start clapping. Okay? And if you get better at clapping, hold the ball in your right hand, and as you clap, put the ball into your left hand. You'll eventually be able to put it into your left hand, very briefly, and take it back out again. This is close to the multitasking involved in the final trick. Now, the timing of this starts to get kind of important. You want to start bringing your right hand over as soon as your left hand starts to throw. This is a simultaneous motion. So it's not throw and put it in, it's throw and put it in at the same exact time. Okay? And you want to take it back out as the ball starts to come back down. So you want to leave it in there for a fair amount of time. You don't want to do it too quickly, because that'll just mess you up in the final pattern. You have to put it in there, have a pause, take it back out. Okay? And then start leaving your right hand farther and farther away from your left hand. So start doing actual throws instead of just passing it in. And eventually you should be able to work up to this, which is basically half of the box. You should be able to do that on both sides. So practice all that, and once you get comfortable doing that on both sides, you can work up to the final pattern, which is essentially just a combination of those two moves. You're going to have two in your right hand, one in your left. You're going to throw into your left and back out. And as soon as your left hand throws back out the horizontal bottom ball, your right hand is going to throw up at the same time. And now you have the complete box. Now again, it's a very difficult trick, so even if you can do this a couple times, you might want to spend a lot of time just practicing the simpler elements of it to get better, instead of just messing up a lot doing the full box trick. And it's very important to keep the timing in mind. There's essentially two strokes to this move. There's this, and there's this. This, this. All the motion happens at the same time. If things start getting out of whack, there's going to be too much going on, you're going to be confused, and it's not going to work. So keep the elements in mind, practice as much as you can, and good luck with the box.